Hello, everybody. I'm Natasha Koo from the Feminine Space, and I'm about to hop on live in my Facebook group so that I can share with the ladies in there exactly how to achieve all your goals and dreams in 2017 that you've identified. So, if you want to join in on the action, and if you've got any questions that you want to ask, if you want to join these trainings live next time and make sure that you get my feedback in real time, then head over to femininetribe.com. But even if you're watching the replay now, I'm still really excited that you're able to make it and that you're able to join us next time. So here we go. About to go live in my group. All right, so hi everybody. I'm sorry I'm late. I know I was scheduled to come on like 13 minutes ago. That's quite a few minutes, but I'm coming on from my iPad this time. It's a new one that I bought today, so I hope that it works as well, if not better than from my phone. So today I chose a really interesting topic, which I actually was inspired by the ladies here in the group. And with all the New Year's resolutions and all the dreams and heart desires that you've set for this year, I find them really inspirational. They're really amazing. And I just want to make sure that everyone has everything they need to start, taking the action or moving in a direction that you actually want to. So that's why I'm here. And today I'm going to just break it down to you with a few steps, really simple ones, to help guide you along on this process, especially if we've set a goal that's just kind of out of this world or really different from the years before and we have no clue how to begin. Then a really great thing to do is actually just to follow those simple steps and feel as if you do have a roadmap to that dream, to making things happen, right? Because I know that for me, sometimes by setting a goal or saying that I want something doesn't necessarily mean that I will take the necessary actions to make it happen. And sometimes I do need certain things in place, maybe be systems or just steps or reminders to help me stay on track, really. So that's what we're going to cover today. It's going to be amazing, and yeah, it's going to be really exciting because I do fully support you, and I want that your dreams come true. I want that, you deepen your relationship with yourself, or that your self-love grows to a new level. That's really important to me, and I want to see that happen in your life. So yeah, that's why I'm here, and that's why I thought this would be a really good live topic. So let's get started. All right, what's the first thing that you can do? I have quite a few ideas, so I'm just going to pause here for a moment and kind of get my ideas in line, all my ducks in a row, so to say. What can we do if we have an idea, but we have no idea how to begin, right? So before you even start anything, one really big suggestion is to actually connect to that place where the desire or that goal actually came from. So to connect with the why within. Because when we kind of set a goal, it's as if we're shooting the start. And sometimes we can be so focused on just making that goal happen, and we get really gung-ho on, okay, what exactly do I need to do? All right, let me write the steps down. I'm going to do it right away, and it's going to be like this, and it's going to, I don't know, it just becomes this really logical, reasonable, like step by step, and sometimes it even becomes a chore when we look at our goal as this, okay, this start and this bullseye that I need to hit. It becomes really, I guess, not motivating in a way that the goal was actually formed to begin with, like with heart, with energy, with the change that you actually want to see. So before you even begin, I would really suggest to actually feel inside and connect back to that place where that goal, where that desire came about, and to sit with it for a little bit so that you actually connect to the real essence of what you're trying to achieve and why, right? Why does it matter? So once you have that, once you're connected to that deeper meaning of the goal or that why, then when you are connected in this way, then it's easier to then move to the next step, which is, okay, what is my next step? And if you are connected deeply, you might already get insights. The ideas might already come to you or might come to you in the next day or two while you stay open to those ideas. So that's one thing that could happen, is that when you really relate and trust and connect back to your real why, your true heart motivation, the next step will bubble up. It will just show up naturally. And now, if it doesn't, what I would really recommend is that you gain clarity. You gain clarity of what it is that you actually want to achieve. Because sometimes if it's something that's completely new, we have an idea of what it would feel like or how the change should be, but we actually don't have any idea how to get there because it's so new, and perhaps the insights might not be bubbling up. So now that's a really, really great time to actually speak to someone who you find would be really helpful in guiding you in a certain direction that would help you take the next step. So maybe it's talking to someone who's really understanding, who's knowledgeable in the field. So if it's, if you're struggling with your health and your goal is to, get really strong, get really healthy this year and feel really great in your body, then talk to someone who's in this field of health, who is a health coach. Maybe talk to your friends who have a really great fitness routine, or talk to people who are already in it. And then from there, by getting more information and by surrounding yourself by people who are pretty much already on their way, it's much easier to then be inspired and then follow your inner guidance again to figure out what to go next. So that's another thing. And now I really want to say that clarity is really, really important here, because the moment we actually have clarity, it makes the next steps so much clearer, if that makes sense. Because if we just have a wishy-washy idea of what it is that we want, like wishy-washy as in once we reach it, we still don't know that we did because it's not clear enough. Or we'll never know when to stop because we don't know where the finish line is. Or it's so not measurable that we'll never know whether we've reached it, we've manifested it, and that it's real, that our heart desire has been fulfilled, right? So having clarity is one of the most important things that we can ever have, because if it's really wishy-washy, or if our goal or vision is really ambiguous, then that makes it really hard to actually make it happen, to realize it, to take realistic, like human steps, daily steps to make it happen. It's just hard when it's something that we don't even have clarity about within ourselves. Then it'll be even harder to then ask for help or to search for the next steps, because the location or that goal itself is not clear enough for us to figure out, even just logically, the next steps to take us there. So in this case, it probably wouldn't help to hang around, say, vegans or swimmers or whoever it is that you want to kind of be influenced by to benefit your health this year. Because if you don't have clarity, you don't have a really good, clear idea on what it is that you want, then you'll just be persuaded by other people and what they say, and everything will sound good. And I'm not sure if this is what we're all looking for this year. I think we do have an idea, but sometimes a little bit more clarity will really help us to figure out, okay, that's exactly it. I want that feeling, or oh, I can imagine when I'm with my family, when when I'm back in the family or gathering, I feel really confident. I feel myself. I feel connected to my loved ones. So we can actually envision, okay, it's going to be like that. So that we have some kind of reference point as to, okay, that's what I want to create. That's exactly it. So if you don't seem to have clarity and you're kind of like, you know what, I really identify myself with what you're saying at the very beginning, which is, it's still wishy-washy. I have a feeling, but I still don't really know what it is that I want or like what it could look like. Then what I would really recommend, and this is really special because I kind of only do this once in a while, is that I'm going to open up my calendar for the next week and a half, and I'm going to be offering you some just free calls so that we can get down to the bottom of it and really take a look at, okay, what is it that you want to feel? What is it that you're really looking for in your life, this transformation, this change? And why I'm offering this opportunity for you to hop onto a free call with me is because I've seen again and again how people have made pretty much goals that are not aligned with what they truly want. So people may be setting goals that sound great or that other people or their friends may be setting, and it seems to bring happiness or success or whatever it is that you perceive. But at the end of the day, if you're climbing up the wrong ladder against the wrong building, once you get to the top, once you put all the effort, the time, all of it in, you're going to arrive there and you're going to be looking around saying, what the heck, why am I here? Hi there. Thanks for joining. I've covered already, Bridget, the first two steps. The first one, which is to connect to our why. Before we even kind of dash ahead and go start our marathon of trying to achieve everything that we're, wishing for this year, actually pause for a moment. Let's connect to the why, our true motivation, and then we go ahead and then let the inspiration, the insights come as to what the natural next step will be. Because if we're really connected to that heart desire on a deep level, that next step will bubble up. So that was my first kind of step that I mentioned, is to really connect with the why and come back to the basics. Like, why are we doing this? Before we Google it, before we ask everyone about it, before we write out this whole fitness plan for the next decade. What is it that we truly want to see? And once we connect there, we're more able to identify the next step. And even if we don't, we'll be getting some idea as to, okay, who could I talk to? Could it be my friend? Could it be my mom? Could it be this group of people who are really fit? Could it be hanging out in a certain Facebook group that's focused on self-love? What is it that's next, right? So it'll make the second step a lot easier. So then that's the natural next step. It could just be intuitively bubbling up, or it could be just asking someone who you feel, is knowledgeable in that space, or someone who you feel is already embodying what you're looking for. But that connection will come a lot easier if we are actually connected deeply to the why and not just some kind of artificial surface level type of goal. So let me know if that really resonates with you. And also let me know if you've got any questions, because I can always pause and kind of dive deeper. So as you were hopping on, I was covering kind of like step 3. Say you're still really lost as to, okay, I don't really know anyone in my life who have achieved that which I want for myself this year, or maybe you're thinking, okay, I might know a few, or I could Google it, but I feel like that's not exactly what I need. And the next steps still feel really, really foggy, and you don't seem to be getting any insights or intuitive, next steps. Then it's time to actually speak to someone to get clarity. Because unless we have that clarity on as to what exactly we're actually trying to achieve, we're going to be running around in circles. It's going to be a real zigzag of a mission, and who knows where we'll end up. It makes all our effort and time a lot more wasted, I would say, to be honest, if we are not clear on actually what we're trying to achieve, if we don't know what it is that we truly want. So even if you have a feeling, that's great, because it's a starting point of something. That's some energy within you that's saying, hey, I want something different. I want to change. I want something to transform in my life. A feeling is great. A feeling is perfect, and that's the perfect starting point. But if that feeling does not fully or clearly translate into something that you can kind of perceive in your mind, like, okay, when I'm in a crowd, I'm able to do public speaking with confidence. I'm able to express myself. Or maybe it's, maybe a few months from now, I want to wake up and I want to feel so strong within my body, in my flexibility, in my strength, whatever it may be. Maybe it's also even at the workplace. I feel that, every single action, I'm not only benefiting others, but I'm also nurturing myself. So we need to have some idea as to what this change looks like, or else we're kind of in the fog and just trying to reach out for whatever it is that we can get, and we're actually not clear on where we want to go. So I'm opening up a few sessions, a few free calls, so that you can actually get to the bottom of it, because I know that sometimes setting the wrong goals, not necessarily wrong, but setting goals that aren't truly aligned with you, or having goals that are just really wishy-washy, it can be really discouraging, because in the end, you actually don't make the progress as to where you really want to head. And then because of that, you don't actually make the changes that you want to see in your life. And the point I really want to make here is that there's nothing wrong with you. It's just a matter of the goal setting, a matter of having the clarity within, in your mind, in your heart, as to what it is that you're going for. It's really simple. It doesn't mean that you're incapable of what you truly want. Once you have that feeling, it's already enough. It's a fire. But if you feel like you're still grasping for whatever you can, and you feel like you're not really productive in actually achieving what you want, then it's time to get clarity. So I'm just gonna look here as to what you're writing. Here for me, a circle is necessarily, oh my goodness, yes. Where I can talk from my heart and then it gets more clear. Absolutely. And talk it out, whether it's with people who are listening to you really compassionately, or have someone guide you through a process where they're actually helping you to kind of tune into, okay, you said you wanted that. What do you really mean? Or what could that look like? And you paint a picture. And it's such a beautiful exercise, and I'm actually really excited to speak with any one of you who are interested to gain more clarity for yourself and for your goal this year. Is that when you are in a held space and someone's sole purpose is there for you to, look at what's possible, look at what your heart is already yearning for, and you kind of sit down and go, okay, that's exactly what I want, and it's possible, and someone's there going, hey, it is, and here are the steps, this is how. Or when someone is there going, okay, you know what, this is the past, I know it doesn't work with you because of this and that, let's move on, let's leap forward, and where do you want to go? Defining that to me is really exciting. I was just talking to a potential client a few days ago. It's so amazing because it's like kind of over the New Year's period, and we're looking into working together. And I was just talking to her, and she was telling me, I was asking her all these questions, which, I mean, for our conversations, for just like the clarity and this goal setting, it might not be so comprehensive as this conversation with this other sister. But I was asking her, okay, like, what do you really want for yourself? And we're working together, what do you want to see? And she started talking to me about how, you know what, she feels that she needs to walk the talk of what she's coaching other people, you know, about or helping them with, in order to really make that business, make her whole work actually flow. Because at the moment she's able to grow some kind of following, she's able to develop, you know, on the level of just the business part, but she feels that there's a disconnect between her and the clients. And she says, you know what, I know it's me. I know that I need to be able to live a certain part within me. I need to walk the, is it walk the walk or walk? No, yeah, it's walk the walk. She wants to walk the walk in order to really show and emanate this energy that she's it, she has it already, and that she's even more capable to help people. So when I talk to her, I'm like, oh my goodness, that's what you want? You know, you want it for yourself and you're wanting it for your client. That's so meaningful. So having this clarity is not even just about, you know, okay, so we have a clear idea of where to go and the direction. It's even bigger than that, because then you can see how that one goal can actually begin to, like a water drop, right? It begins to spread and starts to impact and spread and expand outward, because we don't exist in a vacuum. So sometimes, you know, getting clarity on a goal and really getting in touch with the why is one of the best things we can ever do for ourselves, because it not only gives us more motivation, it gives us more clarity as to what to do next. And also you begin to realize that by doing something for yourself, for taking those steps to achieve whatever change or transformation you want for your life in 2017, that's actually going to impact others. And that's a beautiful thing. That's something that we actually are often disconnected from when we set these personal goals. Bridget, I'm just like, oh, is that actually, do you mean the client I was talking about? Or all the other cases? Because I was mentioning some other cases, because a lot of the ladies in here talked about health. A lot of them talked about, you know, just standing up for themselves. And I can't wait, because I know that the moment we shift something within, it's gonna just spread outward, and that's why it's so exciting. And that's why it's so exciting to be in sisterhood with all of you, because then we're in this together, and when one woman shifts, we all lift up together. It's so exciting. Ah, yeah, okay. That's funny. No, I was not talking about you. Not that I know consciously. That's really funny. But yeah, I think it's so much fun. I was just reading it, and it's just like reading someone else's why gets me excited. So I think that hopping onto these calls so that those of you get more clarity on your own goals and aspirations for 2017, it's just gonna bring on more inspiration, motivation, and actually help us to realize that everything we're doing for ourselves is also for the world. So all this self-love that sometimes is seen as, you know, selfish, like, oh, me time, that's taking time away from, you know, others, or it's you know, it's subtracting from something, it's subtracting from the whole. In fact, all these personal, all these work, aspirations, dreams, visions for the next year, it's for us, but it's for every single one who we touch, who we influence, who are lucky enough to be in our lives. So not only this year, that's the cool part too, not just 2017. Everything we do in this moment, I believe, has an influence into the future. So it's pretty grand. It's pretty grand. So Michelle, welcome to the live too. We're talking about what to do to make your dreams come true, practically speaking, for 2017. I don't like not practical stuff. So here we go. Connect with your why. Step 2, allow the insights to come up. Allow the intuitive next step ideas to come from within. If not, connect to others, connect to those who are already doing it, connect to those who you feel inspired by. And 3, if that still doesn't work, then make sure you connect to your goal and make sure that you have clarity as to what that looks like, because it's not fun when we it's sometimes it's something about Tony Robbins that sometimes he mentions about this, we're always evolving, and the moment we stop evolving, we're unfulfilled or something like that. He's really like a gung-ho on like life is a transformation and we need to keep growing. And to some extent, I totally agree with him that change is life. Like, change is inevitable. Let me know if this makes sense to you guys, okay? Or maybe there's some diehard Tony Robbins fans who I'm gonna offend this evening. But I know he's really gung-ho on this concept of transformation, and we need to keep growing, and that's kind of what makes us really happy. But for me, it's also to understand that this goal, if we set it somewhere that's really ambiguous and really wishy-washy, and if it's some kind of goal that can always be moved up, like this infinite ladder, and we're always crawling up this ladder and it just never ends, to me, that doesn't feel right. So that's why I want to say get clarity, gain clarity on your goal, because if we set a goal that's, I don't mean in the stars as in it's massive and it's cool and it's great and it's infinite. I don't mean that. But we set a goal where once we reach it, we're like, oh, that's not enough. Let me push it higher. That would make me feel happier. Or oh, that's not enough yet. I gotta be even. Then to me that just doesn't feel right at all. And I don't want to see anyone in this group kind of suffering from an empty goal, which in the end just makes them feel like they're not enough, like it's never enough. I just don't feel like those are great New Year's resolutions, because it just makes, even if you reach it, there's always more to do. And I think that this whole journey that we're all on together this year, and starting from the last year to this year, is to know that within this whole journey, no matter what goal we set, we can feel good about ourselves the whole time. We can still be happy with where we are, but know that there's a deeper energy within, a fire that's asking for change, asking for transformation, asking for something different, right? Asking for something new. Now that's different than always having this unattainable perfection that we kind of formulate in our head, in which we try to obtain each year. So that's not cool. Let me know if this makes sense, or if I offended anyone with the whole Tony Robbins thing. Yeah, I was watching his documentary also, the one on I'm Not Your Guru. And I found it quite fascinating that for him it was really an obsession, this desire to see change in others, how it really is his obsession. And I really respect the work that he does, because I mean he's really helped millions of people all over the world. He has this fire, and he works with a lot of fire, not necessarily what I do, but he's changed a lot of people's lives. But the one point that I'm kind of honing in here that I kind of wanted to point out is that if we are under the impression that change and transformation and this constant growth and this infinite growth is the goal in itself, then that is not satisfying. It's a journey, and yes, it's great to have clarity on where we want to go, and once we achieve it, I love that moment when we check off, our to-do list, or when we get something done, or when we, feel like, okay, you know what, I was not here last year and I've made it, I'm stronger, or whatever it is. Or I actually can meditate and not wear my hair out. To see really, really solid, like almost like material change. That's something that's really beautiful. But it's another thing to set goals that actually are really misleading. Sometimes it feels like a trap, this spirituality and this self-growth. And I want to say personal development is this journey, and do not be tricked into thinking that self-development or the spirituality is this unattainable thing that's forever going to be out of reach, because it's not. It really is not. Okay, I'm going to read what you're saying here. Could you say something about goal setting and creating out of being present? Okay, could you just explain a little bit what you meant by creating out of being present? I want to make sure we're talking about the same things. All right, so I do have something to say about goal setting. Now, the clarity is really helpful. That's one thing. And another thing is to also, okay, there's lots, okay. It's so great. When you ask questions, this just like opens a huge can of worms, and it's really lovely. A huge can of something lovely. So let's see, where can I begin? I'm just going to gather my thoughts a bit so I can really explain to you in a way that feels right. All right, goal setting. Okay. So I just want to, there's a few things. One thing is about what the heck is a goal, right? Because sometimes when we set goals, people are like, that's exactly what I need to do. And if I don't reach it, I'm going to be disappointed. Like, disappointed about myself that I actually didn't do what I said I would do. So that's something that happens to certain people. You have the mindset that a goal is just something that I need to achieve, that I have to, that I must, right? And that can actually bring us down. So what type of goal setting has actually worked with me is to first get in touch with what I really, really want, and this is really just when you're with someone else, or when you're really connected to yourself. And from there, you just write out what you wish was possible, what you want to be possible in the next while. Because a goal is, it could be something in the present moment, but sometimes if it's something really practical, it needs time, it needs work, it needs development to actually manifest. So if it's something in the future that you actually want to create, now what I've seen a lot, and both in my past and in others, is that a goal becomes a thought. Now, a thought that's actually like fleeting. Like you say it today, you write it in the feminine space group, and then tomorrow or the day after you forget about it. So it's a fleeting thought. Yes, you plunked it down onto the world of internet, but then it's gone. So so when it becomes a fleeting thought, now that's kind of a problem if you actually wanted to achieve it, because you get so caught up in like daily life and you forget that a certain part of you actually wanted to see something different happen. And it's a bit of a shame when you get really caught up in daily life and everything that's going on, and you forget that part of yourself that was so hopeful, that was connected to the infinite, who was connected to your heart and yourself, and who was reminding you, hey, let's do this. Can we do this year together? So how to not make it just a fleeting thought, right? How to make it just not this, this mindless little plop that you type down somewhere, or that you wrote down a little post-it note and then you kind of threw it away and kind of forgot a day or a week from now. Now, one of the best ways I've seen this work, and I'm sure, Michelle, you can probably have your own experiences to kind of prove this to your own life, is that sometimes we need accountability. Okay, so surrounding yourself with other people who know you said it and who are backing you up and supporting you and pretty much looking forward to you making it happen, that is not only a great motivator, but it also is creating a wonderful environment for you to ask for help, for you to get in touch and accept reality as to how far you are along to that goal. And also it creates the environment where you actually make it happen. You want to make it happen. You're talking about it. There's this space, whether it's in your life, whether it's in time, somewhere in your life, you're creating this little space for accountability, and you're creating space for this goal to happen. So that's why I love accountability, because there's an emotional part to it. There's that sisterhood part to it. It's just great. So that's one thing, which is accountability. So by having someone else or a group of people there for you, it makes things so much easier, because the support is there, the resources are there, and you set time aside. And this is so important. Sometimes we feel like, no, we don't have no time, we don't have time for this and that. No, we have time for things that we put into our calendar. We have time for things that we say yes to and then we commit to. Those things we do have time for. So if we, choose to have accountability to be something that we put time aside for, and we choose to pretty much ride on accountability for that to help us in achieving our goals for 2017, then that is a superstar right there. I love it. That's why I really love masterminds. That's why I really like sisterhood circles. And also that is one of the main reasons why that I created the 4 Women Max Sisterhood Circle coaching programs. They start each month, and they're just 4 people, because I feel like we really do deserve a lot of attention. We do deserve a lot of good vibes and connection. And I feel like when you are connected to your besties, when you are connected to people who get you, who are truly listening, the ones who, when you say, you know what, this week I screwed up, I didn't give any time to myself, I didn't even, think about whatever it was that I wanted to do, I just fell off the bandwagon, to have a group of people who can listen and be like, you know what, that's okay, we're here for you, we're still going to be here for you next week, and we're still looking forward to, seeing you win, to succeed, to make it happen. We're still here for you, providing you with support no matter how well or poorly you do. That's really special. That really is. So it's almost even more than accountability. It's really having people there rooting for you, supporting you. And also, another part of accountability is to really have people there to help you see realistically what's going on. And I don't mean just by, for example, like how, I don't know, I want to lose 5 pounds. Okay, I don't really need someone to to show me that the scale and the numbers. I can kind of do my own math, right? But but having accountability means also that you are inspired and you're motivated and you're encouraged by others, and in this tight group, loving group, to face reality, to have the courage to face the scale or to face your numbers or whatever it is. And on the opposite side of that is that accountability helps you to face reality when maybe you're going in like a negative loop, say you're feeling like it's hopeless, you're making no progress, and you're not really going to achieve it, then your sisters or your accountability partners or those in your mastermind can then remind you of what reality truly is. That you're perfect already, that actually you're doing the best you can and that's enough. And that's another reality check that sometimes we need, because we can be really, really hard on ourselves when we've set a goal and we feel like we're not getting there or that we're stuck. So yeah, I love accountability and I love sisterhood. I love sisterhood so much. I'm really excited because enrollment for the February sisterhood coaching circle has opened. So I can't wait to make it all happen with you guys and for you to actually experience that beautiful accountability and for all of it to happen for you. Yes. So that's part of goal setting, how it can be a fleeting thought, how it can be something that is just on a post-it note and it never actually manifests or it never actually becomes anything in our life because we don't make the space for it. And I gotta say that there's really not so much, there's not a lot of trick to goal setting other than the fact that it needs to have a space in our life for something to happen. Even if it's to let go, even if it's to, I don't know, open a new chapter, learn a new skill, grow in a way that we've never ever had before, it needs space. May it be time, energy, emotional energy, whatever it is, it needs space. So I think more than anything, goal setting could just mean setting aside a certain time. I know that for Tim Ferriss or quite a few authors actually, they don't want to, even if they want to write a book, which is really, really ambitious and takes years sometimes, they just put time aside. And maybe it's before bed, but it's some kind of routine. And then they say, I'm going to write down 2 pages of whatever it is. It's just going to be 2 pages of scribbles. And that's what they call it, because there's the expectation that it doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to be publishable, if that's a word. And then they just write. And they allow themselves to write. And they allow themselves to have the time and to give themselves that freedom to screw up or to try or to play. And I think for Tim Ferriss it worked because he has a book, many books actually. And for many of us, it's that perfectionism within that's screwing us up and actually stopping us from making or taking the action that actually brings us closer to that goal. So I don't think there's some magic sauce that the to goal setting. I think it's more what kind of mindset are we bringing? And that's exactly it. This is full circle, you guys. This is coming all the way back to why the heck are we doing it? What's your why? Do you have clarity as to what it is that you actually want to achieve? Because when you have that, then you can give yourself the allowance. Then it's not like, I don't know, like sometimes goal setting can be such hard work. Like I totally get it because I'm a Capricorn and I just want things now. I want things fast. I want it done. I want it perfect. And sometimes when we, even if we had the best intention at the very beginning, it just becomes like the hardest work. And we ask ourselves, why the heck did I set this goal? Because this is torture now. And the ego will just bite onto it like a dog and not let go. So I kind of want to ask you, I do invite you very much to tap into the why and really, really dive into truly what it is that you want and gain as much clarity as you can, and know that the goal can always change. Hey, that's something important too. The goal can always change. So don't feel like once you've, written something, set something to your sisterhood group that you can't change your mind, because we can. And no one's going to beat us up over it other than ourselves if you choose to do that. So those are my 2 cents. Let me know if that helped. And oh my goodness, everything's kind of funny to me. So if you've got anything else as to how to get started on your goal, how to actually make it happen, then I would love to keep sharing. Otherwise, I've been talking for a while now, so you better chime in and say hi, or let me know if this made sense and if it helped you, or if there are any missing pieces. So let me think. Yeah, I'm going to be traveling. I'm going to be actually visiting my mom and my brother in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, for 1 full month, starting this Sunday. So I'm going to be away. So that's why, well, away, like what does that even mean? I'm online. I'm always here. But I'm going to be, my schedule is going to be probably better for many of you this week, because I'm still in Europe. And once I'm in Asia, I'm still definitely going to be doing the coaching work and opening up my calendar for the free clarity calls for you guys, just so you can really, really head off 2017 in the right direction, not climb up those infinite ladders, not, grasp for stuff in the fog. I recommend that you schedule a call this week before I really leave. So, Jamie, so important to remember that we can always change our minds. Oh my goodness, yes! Like it's not set in stone. It's nothing's gonna happen if we just change course. And actually, that's one of the most important things, especially for my work, is like the more quickly I can pivot, the more unattached I am to any of this, the bigger the impact I can create, the quicker I can grow, because I'm actually able to identify when something no longer serves me, and that's the full process. It's not this crazy, crazy gold medal that's forever in front of us and we're always running towards. It's something that we can actually decide for ourselves. So, yeah, no, that is actually Kuala Lumpur. Wait, Lum, it's like a Lumpur, but you got really close there. I thought it was correct too. So it's going to be a really great time. I think that it's also going to be an amazing time for me to settle down and write a lot about relationships, because my mom and my relationship, that was one of the toughest relationships I've ever had, and I was able to grow so much this year and resolve a lot of stuff with her. So I think I'm gonna have a lot of learnings too, and be able to share a lot of how I react, what I do when she starts yelling at me, has temper tantrums, or I don't know, tells me to pick up my socks, or whatever equivalent that is in adulthood. So it's going to be, I think, a beautiful challenge ahead in January. I'm really looking forward to seeing my mom, actually. Yeah, so those are my thoughts on this topic. That's really what I wanted to share. I hope that it helped you. So just to recap a little bit for those of you who are just joining, the first thing I said is that get in touch with your why, because oftentimes if you're kind of like me, have a personality like me, you want it now, you want to go get it now, then you do, but you kind of run off like, oh, is this even the right direction? But I really want to get started. So connect with your why, connect with the real reason why you came up with that goal, or what inspired you to start it all in the first place. And then the second step, really, once you have that clarity and kind of connect with yourself in that goal in that way, is to then allow the insights to come. Have a little bit of stillness, sit with yourself a bit, have a bit of patience and feel, okay, what do I already know? What do I know to be the next step already? Let it be a natural process. And then follow that. Maybe it be to talking to people who are already in your life, who can help you, whether it's, maybe brainstorming with a girlfriend, or even posting in this group and asking, okay, this is how I feel. What do you guys think, right? So But if you're still kind of feeling like, okay, I still have no clue, I've connected to my why, I've allowed time for the insights to come, and I still have absolutely no clue where to begin, or I just feel lost, like I want someone to guide me, please, then talk to someone and gain clarity. Be in a space where someone, looks at the potential with you, looks at the possibilities with you, looks at what you've been through and what could be next with you. And that's why I'm opening up my calendar for this next week so that we can do this together. I don't want to leave anyone behind this year. I committed to, showing up as me, sharing with you as honestly and as vulnerable and as authentically as I possibly can, showing up with the most support that I can to make your wishes, your dreams, everything that you want for yourself to come true. And I want that to provide that to you. So let's start off, our aspirations on the right path and with clarity so that we actually know what to do next, so that no one's really lost here. I don't want anyone to be lost. And I just want you to know that, I'm here to help. So feel free to hop onto the free call. I'm going to drop the link into the group later, or maybe in the comments here, and you'll be able to find out. Just click on it and you'll schedule it into your calendar. So it's a great book. Oh, thank you guys. So Jamie's saying it's a great book for learning about tough relationships. Do you mean the book is being with family? And how to make them work better for you? Ooh, did I miss something there? Or were you talking about family? Bridget, you're saying, thank you. You're welcome. This is what I do, and I've set my mind to do it. So this is not what I'm gonna pivot anytime soon, ladies. This is still one of my big flames burning within me to really, I think the biggest contribution that I want to make here, period, is to allow all of us, or to help each other see and to feel and to experience that we are who we need to be. It might, we as in you, this really true, the true essence of you, the real you, maybe someone we don't even fully understand or know yet, but who we are, that's our gift to the world. And I've seen enough times to make my heart break again and again to see women try to act like a man in order to feel powerful or to, climb up the career ladder. Or I've seen enough times where mothers or the really loving women in the world give and give and give and overgive and just lose themselves. And I've seen enough times of women who cannot stand up for, what they want, for their safety, for what they need. And I think all of it comes back to knowing ourselves, being connected to ourselves, and letting that come through as in being lived, and sharing that with the world. And I guess I don't want to be a party pooper here, but I'm really saddened to see women struggling with themselves and not feeling good in their own skin. And that's why I want to do the best that I can and be available for you, at least, in the next week or two, for these free calls, and for you to be able to experience what is possible. I know that when I was younger, no one showed me really what was possible. Like, as a child, yes, to an extent, and then you kind of become an adult and you're like, oh, right, got time to be an adult. And you kind of lose the magic of things. Like, we see glimpses of it, but we forget that the magic is within us. So all I want to do here is to help us realize again that the magic is still there. But let's stop running away from it. Let's stop fearing it. Let's stop, putting ourselves down, or let's draw upon the strength within, the courage that's still here, and everything we've got. Because I promise you, everything is here. All the secret sauce, the whole recipe, you've got. But sometimes we just need a little bit of cooking. we need a little bit of just here and there, a little bit, and then it all comes back together. So if you don't mind, ladies, if you got any questions, drop them now. Oh, cool. What does that mean? Write me or email me, natasha@femininespace.com, or just PM me. Tell me more, or tell the whole group what you're talking about, Bridget. Would love to know. So, I need to stretch. I gotta do these lives maybe on the floor and make me stand up. I've been sitting for too long. So, if you got any questions, let me know right now. There's always a few minutes or a few seconds of lag between the live me and you. But those are my 2 cents. I hope it really helped you, because I know, why let another year's worth of dreams and goals and resolutions fall into nothingness when we can actually make it happen? So why don't we do that, right? So as always, if you've got any more questions, I can always answer within the group, so just tag me. And I'm so I'm so excited. I'm speaking English all wrong. I'm so looking forward to hopping onto these calls with you and to hear all your dreams, what you want to make happen this year, what you're looking forward to, what changes you want to see in your life and yourself. Oh, yay! I can't wait. Thank you so much. I'm still going to be here. I'm going to be jet lagged for a few days, so that's why I'm planning quite a bit of material and quite a bit of lives before, so that I don't have to show up sleepy-headed with bags under my eyes, be like, I have something to share, I think. So thank you for being here, Jamie and Bridget, and who else is here? But anyways, say hi always if you're here, then I know who I'm talking to. Otherwise, it's kind of creepy. So have a good night. Let me know if you need anything. I'm open for those calls this and next week to gain clarity on all that you want for this year, to help you with that. And what else have I got? Oh yes, the February sisterhood circles are open for registration. So that's our 4 lucky women per group, and it's just freaking magic. And that's when we really make it happen. So that's going on. I'll post more, or just PM me if you want to know more. And yeah, I can't wait. So have a good night, everybody. Hi, Amber. I'm about to jump off, but yeah, Happy New Year to everybody. Know that everything you're wishing for this year can come true. If you need help and you feel like, what the heck, how do I start, where do I begin, then just tag me, all right? All right. So have a good one, and yeah, let's connect soon. So see you later, guys. Thanks for being here. Oh, how do I turn this off? Here we go. So that's it for the live. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you need anything, if you've got any more questions, then feel free to contact me by tagging me in the group, the closed Facebook group, femininetribe.com. See you there.